Hell yeah, motherfuckers. Welcome back. I'm so excited. I don't know what else to say. It's like every single time we touch on Mushoku Tensei or ReZero or one of these series, it's like coming back home to like be able to just explore and talk about everything. Guys, we're gonna have SB on later on in the evening. I was just telling Twitch chat this. We'll have Natalie Hunter here with us. Welcome back. I am so fucking excited, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, this video is gonna be long. Yes, we're gonna try and analyze anything and everything that we can. Sit back, relax, grab a snack, and get ready for some fucking deep dives. I've been missing this shit. Like, I've really been missing Mushoku Tensei. So in comes in my before I keep yapping. Number one, is season 3 in production? Is season 3 in production? Number two, you can only pick one girl. Roxy, Eris, or Sylphie. Who do you pick? Why? That is my question to you guys. Who do you pick? Why? All right. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I don't have a reason to stall. Let's keep going, brother. Let's just go straight into it. I appreciate you all. Hey, if you guys like the content, especially considering it's probably going to go a little deeper than usual, make sure you guys hit that like button, comment, subscribe, especially on YouTube. It helps the algorithm a ton. And come and join us. Every Sunday is Mushoku Tensei Sunday on Twitch. No matter what, it's Konosuba and Mushoku Tensei Sundays on Twitch, ladies and gentlemen. Alrighty, with that being said, let's go. Let's fucking go. Okay, I don't mean to just stop randomly, right? Also, I'm sick, so if you guys hear me like graveling, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this, brothers. Hold up. I know. We're 1 second in. We're 1 second in. Welcome to a standard Psyculturist stream, right? Let's talk about symbolism. By the way, guys, nothing I do is, oh, he's a fucking wizard, he's pre-reading, blah, 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 bullshit. No. All of it is literally just based off of psychology, and I can give you guys a full-on breakdown, which is what these hours and hours long concepts are. And if you still don't understand the concept, always feel free to ask. I'll go further in depth, and I'll explain every single little thing. Existential symbolism. Let's go with the aspects of self, right? How do we view the world? Specifically, when it comes to this environment, right? It comes one of the big aspects. Like, for example, do you have any symbolism that you pertain to the world around you? There are people out there today who quite literally are like, oh yeah, you know what? Number 777. Anytime I see that, that means I'm going to have a fantastic day. That means I'm going to be lucky. That means I'm going to be absolutely golden and whatnot. And sometimes we assign ourselves to this symbolism, right? Because of our own narratives, because of what we see, right? I must be drunk. It's the other screen. It's my board screen, specifically for my board, right? So, in comes in my aspect. We have these birds, right? And for us, what is the symbolism that is automatically presenting to us? What is the symbolism that these birds are automatically presenting for us? I'll give you guys a hint. Season 1, or Season 2, I guess. OP. What color was the bird? Season 2 OP, what color was the bird? Ed reacting to Mushoku Tensei. It was tricolor, white, blue, green, red. White, right? So, let's talk about that. It was a white bird, green, symbolizing selfie, right? If we want to put symbolism into it. Blue would probably symbolize Roxy. Red would probably symbolize Eris. Green/white, I guess. If you really want to, or a combination of everything. Eris. So what does gray symbolize? White man god. So what does gray symbolize? Probably Rudy. So we already have a symbolistic chart in here. And in comes in my next question for you guys. What does rat symbolize? Okay, I'm going to stop right there. So essentially what I'm getting at is this first little introduction of a bird coming back and perching right next to this gray bird as well, right? Coming in, whatnot. I'm wondering, is Roxy going to come back with some pertinent information for Rudy that will lead us towards this next journey? This is just symbolistic nature that's already been pre-planned from the beginning of season 2, opening 1, and it's right out there. It's nothing too big. It's just symbolism that we automatically tie that the directors have clearly thought about from this thing. So is Roxy going to come back with some information or something that is going to lead or bring in a new cycle, a new turning point maybe for Rudy? If we assign the symbolism of gray to Rudy, right? I want the rat up here. The story knows exactly what it's doing. Dude, if that is the case, this is people try and tell me, like I've heard this thing thrown out there. Oh yeah, Mushoku Tensei isn't well planned. Mushoku Tensei is overdone. Like some people out there, I think you guys know those, some of the haters, right? And it's like, are you kidding me? Like Mushoku Tensei is done in such a beautiful way that it doesn't have to like go through and like rely heavily on like a silly gimmick or something like that, right? Like, it doesn't have to rely on a silly gimmick of like, oh, you know what? We have to go ahead and make Rudy live 20,000 years and have him like, use his powers, but only when the moon is red or some OP over the power, like, stuff like that. It's like, hey, it's very real. There is relapse, but people seem to only cling on to the negative of the story. But yet there's a lot of potential to hold up a mirror and be like, hey, you can start the process of change. Anyway, all right, let's go back to it, guys. Sorry. It's a very beautiful moment, very simple moment that I think highlights everything. But, exactly. Like, what a beautiful moment here. Also, in this tranquil era. In comes in the next point. Ooh. Guys, we're going to go in fucking deep. We're going to go in deep. The panties. So you're a bard, inquisitor, rogue, multi-class. The panties. Los pantsus. Los calzones. The holy relic. What, I don't know. Would you guys sniff him? But anyway, that's aside the point. But what I really want to talk about is relic keeping. Why do we do this? Do we get to bet? Sure, you guys can bet on that. Why do we keep relics, ladies and gentlemen? And we're even backing this up a little bit, just so that we have this full capacity in here. So look, bah. Yeah. Emotional value, comfort. Yeah. If you didn't see it, there's a hole in the bed sheet. Oh, no, yeah. I did see that he put something in it. Callan says hi. Oh, thank you. It's a teddy bear. So a lot of people take this and absolutely run with the concept in the wrong way. I've seen a lot of people look at Rudy holding onto this relics and being like, oh, that's shameful. Oh, whatnot. Individuals with anxious attachment styles will hold on to items or things that can give value or meaning to them. Let's say that one of you guys were to give me this expo marker and I'm anxiously attached, right? It's like, oh, this is the only thing that I could remember them from. This is an aspect of me that I had with someone that guided me for a period of time and carried value. If I lose this, I'm going to lose the value of myself. People don't seem to conceptualize that, right? Like, we put stuff away because it's impacted us. It's had an aspect of ourselves, right? It reminds us of a person. It brings us comfort. It allows us to even keep mental stability. So, in case you guys are wondering, what are you talking about? What would happen if, say, that I magically appeared in front of Rudy and I started burning the panties in front of him? What would happen to him? And it's the same thing for any of you guys. If you guys have it's a holy war. Abso-fucking-lutely, because you're hurting him at his core, right? He would kill you. Rage, he'd burn you. But that's the same thing for you guys. Like, imagine this. You have your favorite system, your PC, whatever. Someone appears in front of you and starts fucking, like, ripping it apart, breaking it down, ripping apart your favorite item, your favorite thing, whatever. What does that do for you? What does that trigger in you? It's fight or flight. It's fight or flight. not the PC. Exactly. So when we're looking at this, I guess something to conceptualize in this, and I guess something I'm going to ask is Rudy healthy at this point in time? Just because he managed to shag a little, just because he managed to get his pee-pee a little hard, is he in a healthy state? So what about people who abandon things they love? That's called an avoidant attachment style, and it usually comes from insecurities at an early age. He's a lot better, but is he healthy? So if I were to ask you guys this, if Eris were to come back to the picture right here, right now, if Eris were to come into this picture and be like, Rudy, it was a misunderstanding. I actually loved you or whatnot. Sleep with me, Rudy. Would he maintain the relationship he has with Sylphie? Or would he relapse and be like, oh my God, you're back, whatnot? BP down again. She wouldn't ask. Rudy's will probably break. Definitely sticking with Sylphie. I think he would decline, but feelings would emerge and hurt him again. My money's on a relapse. My money is on a relapse. My money's on a major relapse in that. And even then, we have to talk about emotional states, right? Because what kept this PP down? And I know we're talking about this in a very interesting way. And I know we're going in depth in this because that's what this channel is all about. How old is Rudy at this point in time, chat? He's 16. This is what he's supposed to be going through. He's learning his social identity, right? Teens need to develop a sense of self and personal identity. Success leads to an ability to stay true to yourself, while failure leads to role confusion and a weak sense of self, followed by young adults need to form intimate, loving relationships with other people. Success leads to strong relationship, while failure leads to results in loneliness and isolation. We've just touched on it. Loneliness and isolation. He was there. BP don't work. Loneliness and isolation. BP don't get hard. Loneliness and isolation. So the Sylphie married thing, he wants to do it because he should form relations. Because yeah, sometimes you need to form attachments. He might care about her 110%. I'm not saying no about this in any way, shape, or form. But I'm just saying, with loneliness and isolation being one of the key pivotal aspects as to how guys, specifically, you can form, I love saying, like, for example, people kept making fun of him, and there's a ton of reactors and a ton of people out there that were like, it grossed me the fuck out. It grossed me the fuck out when people were like legitimately making fun of Rudy for having ED. I'll tell you guys this, great majority of us are probably going to get ED. A great majority of guys are probably going to get ED at some point in your life. Actually, I think there was a study done, and it was like 83 through 85% of guys, especially in later adulthood, start getting erectile dysfunction or some type of ED. Yeah. And that's a major thing, right? Is we shouldn't shame. We should be open to talking about these concepts. We shouldn't shame these characters, right? Or even like aspects like this, because there might be some individuals in chat right now who are currently going through ED, right? Don't give me fear. Yep. Rudy's between 40. According to Google, who don't understand that biology actually has an impact on your mental age. Rudy's between 45 and 50. Even physically, here's the thing, Ryu. We're going through the developmental stages. And at any point in time, you can develop erectile dysfunction based on you not meeting any of these criteria, based on trauma, based on the fact that like you're going through certain issues like this. So for example, okay, I'm going to put it this way. Rudy comes back into an aspect of loneliness and isolation. Something major happens in the future and he's back here. Is he going to relapse in a safe space? Or is he going to relapse in a capacity that might affect him and make horrible judgment calls? Ladies and gentlemen, question for you guys. We already know loneliness and isolation. He's already fallen down this route and he's trying to recover from it, right? By making attachments, by whatnot, because of ED, because of trauma, because of everything that happened previously. If you were to come back, major something horrible happens, does this cause him to not be as reliable in his judgments? Anyway, it's just interesting. I love fucking I love fucking I love Erickson. I love all these psychological theories because it brings up some key important aspects of our characters. And I guess even further, a lot of people keep saying, "Oh, his hypersexuality is not real." I got two words for you. I got two words for you. And especially those individuals that are like, "Oh, I'm a bachelor level student of medicine or whatnot," reacting to it. You just have your bachelor's, bro. That ain't higher level graduate education or whatnot, right? But I want to talk about this specifically because we're going to talk about this in younger children, right? How does this look like in younger children? I want you guys to put it in this. In younger children, individuals who have gone through some sort of like interpersonal, like, abuse, something like that, sexualized behavior, right? Abuse, trauma, whatnot can trigger this. Sexualized behavior, avoidance of specific adults, nightmares, clingy behavior, fearfulness and anxiety, bedwetting, school refusal or socialization refusal, decreased scholastic performance, medically unexplained aches and pains. And older, as you keep growing older, I want you guys to see if this rings a bell towards anything that we've seen so far. Self-harm, depression, isolation, anger, fearfulness and anxiety, sleep disturbances, avoidance of specific adults, school refusal, decreased scholastic performance, high-risk sexual behavior, substance use, runaway, blah, 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 blah. And these are just indices that there's something wrong sexually. And like this is usually done, especially with individuals or kids that have gone through some sort of SA. But they're indices that something traumatic has happened in a child. How many of those can we take from that list that I just said and apply them to Rudy? As much as people love to go ahead and be like, "Oh yeah, you know what? Rudy, horrible individual, whatnot." There's a saying in psychology, hurt people, hurt people. Hurt people, hurt people. Rudy was hurt in a past life to a point where it was sexual abuse. When someone ties you up, makes fun of your genitals, goes through so on and so forth. Oh no, a manga. I can point out to a majority of these. Sexualized behaviors, right? Avoidance of specific adults, nightmares, clingy behavior for some instances, fearfulness and anxiety, even though he's trying to go to school refusal definitely happened, especially as an older adult. I know it says younger children. We're going to flip on over to this one. Self-harm, yes. The self-harm and the fact that, he was trying to go ahead and get with people despite his PP not working. That is considered self-harm. Anything that you do that harms you in that essence is considered that, right? Depression, isolation, we've seen that. Anger, we've seen that. Fearfulness and anxiety, we've seen anxiety. And we could just keep going down the list. A lot of this showcases that, for Rudy, he's been in that situation. He's been in a situation where he's been hurt. He's been in a situation where he's been learning, right? And people think that essay is just a direct action. 100% cyberspace. 100%. So that's why it's important to talk about these things and highlight them, because what do we see right here? We're talking about anxiety and anxious attachment, and he has his pedestal. We're also only 18 seconds in, and I hope you guys know we're 20 something minutes into this recording. Sorry, YouTube. This is what you guys signed up for whenever we... Hey, yo, why is there a hole in this bed sheet? Wait a minute. What type of kinks are there? Are they... wait, what? Oh, okay. Here we go. What the fuck is that for, bro? Glory holing? What are we talking about? I don't want to see you today, Sophie. Hey, yo, I'm going to cut out a little thing in here, what? The sacred relic. That makes sense. That actually makes sense. I guess. Here's the thing. Yeah, second holy relic. Some individuals might look at that and might think, oh, that's weird. And for some people, it might be, right? However, there are a lot of individuals that, like, I've noticed, right, with addictive behavior, anxious addictive behavior. I'm going to be straight up with you. Had some people come into therapy. One of them, right, with all of his partners, you know what he would keep? Their panties. Every person that you slept with, he would find a way to keep their panties. Don't know why. Don't know how. Don't know why. Hey, he had a whole collection of panties. And some might think immediately, oh, yeah, it's a trophy, right? Because that's sort of where your mind goes into. He's trying to, like, he's trophy setting or whatnot. This is where it kind of gets sad. Childhood, growing up, it was instilled in him. First off, he grew up very, very poor. Didn't have a lot of underwear himself. So it meant it had value to him whenever someone gifted him socks, underwear, stuff like that. So him sleeping with someone, he internalized that and turned it into an anxious moment where he would keep their underwear because it had value to him. Oh, Lugo tu extra a los boxers? Oh, no. So I hope that makes sense. There's different ways that this can come out, and people do certain things because of the anxious elements as to what that could mean for him. That took a sad turn. Yeah. You guys weren't expecting that.
Ohayou gozaimasu, Shisho.
Oh.
Grandmaster.
Oh.
Sanova. Julie.
She's fucking adorable, man.
Oh.
Oh, boss. Ohayou nya. Ohayou nano.
Okay. Coffee, thanks so much for the 5 gifted subs. You go. Appreciate you. Holy shit. Moshko is back, baby. Okay, that terrifies me, actually. I don't mean to be dramatic about this. This fucking scares me. And it scares me for a couple of reasons. It scares me because of this. Let's talk about this as his horniness level, right? As like his sexual behaviors. What is this? Right? What do you think? If someone that's doing this, are they healthy? Thanks so much for subbing, our Darwin. Appreciate it. After going up and down instantly, my man got laid. He just had sex and it felt so good. So he comes out, right? And he's like, my PP work, and it skyrockets all the way up again. Like literally, it looks like a bad stock. He was down here, PP no work, PP work. All of a sudden, sexualized behaviors skyrocket all the way down, which scares me. We're talking about emotional stability, so I guess we'll go. We started off around here, right? Rudy season 1, and then PP no work, Rudy. PP no work. Now we're all the way up here. What happens if he comes down here? Say a relapse. That's what I'm fucking terrified about. Because right now he might be feeling good. He might be like, you want to come in my blankets? They call me. Hold on. They call me a chef. You guys want to come in my blankies? Because I can make you a 5-star meal. Let me mog. It could be like he could be all the way fucking up here trying to go fucking spit game, right? In this emotions. But if something happens, if a big relapse were to, I know, right? Like, I'm hungry. Like, but if he relapses all the way down here, again, comes in my question. What happened for this to come through? What happens for this to go back up? Because right now it's using sex as a springboard or sexual attachment as a springboard to go all the way up, right? Hey, that kind of looks like a, hey, yo. Anyway, it scares me. It scares me for future interactions, and it just scares me. It scares me overall for the elements of like, if someone were to come in one of his weakest moments, how in trouble are we? How in trouble are we? I also gotta say, fucking love seeing him back though. Not gonna lie, it's been a hot minute.
Oh, boss. Ohayo nya. Ohayo nano.
Okay. However, is this age appropriate behavior? Yes. Yes. He's a teenager. He's horny. He's a teenager. You know, is it probably hypersexualized a little bit? Yes. But I hate to put it this way, a lot of teenagers are horny individuals. There's nothing bad happening. There's no season 3 lovey-dovey arc. Yeah. Finally wanted to hit. You'll never run out of my meat. I mean, what can I say, bro? I just gotta be straight. And one, they're just two dorks. The camera effect, brother.
ルーデウス、どうしたの？
何か変ですか？
なんか自信に満ち溢れてるように見えるかな。
今日は皆さんにご報告があります。
Sure.
詳しい内容については言えませんが、先日とある病から解放されました。
Guys, I have a fucking announcement to make, okay? Have an announcement to make. Yesterday, I got laid. It's literally his whole... literally, him just coming in here being... Oh, that's so good, dude. It's a public service announcement, okay? Let's go. Alternate universe MT. That's why I'm like, oh, we all had that one classmate. It's so good, dude. I like how he's making this big deal about it. And it's awesome to see that, like, everyone notices it, right? Public service announcement. That's why I'm like, that's so, yeah. So yesterday, you know, and it felt this, and I did this, and I did this, and it's like, okay, dude. Still less open than the least. True.
ボス、病気だったのかにゃ？襲ってこなかった理由はそれなの？
おめでとうございます師匠。世に相談してくれてもよかったのですぞ。
なるほど、大変だったな。何にせよおめでとう。
相談してくれてもよかったのですぞ。
なるほど、大変だったな。
Question for you. This might seem random, but the way that the camera has focused in on him, how important of a character is he? I completely forgot his name. Julie applauding, right? Julie, no idea what's happening, but Cliff, there you go. Thank you. How important of a character is Cliff? Like, for example, is this a lifelong friendship, or is this something that may not last as long? Because I'm looking at this and I'm like, on a scale of like 1 to important characters, even the cat girls included, who here could survive, like, who here would legitimately survive a long-term relationship with Rudy? Right. The more I'm thinking about this, I can see Zenoba and Julie, definitely. But like the cat girls, or even him, even Cliff, right? Who here, like for example, if we were to be like, who here would come up in season 3? Is Cliff only a season 2 character, or is he more than willing to come back like season 3 or season 4, however long the show goes? I don't know. You know, I think this is why everyone's here in the story. Sure, and that comes the main aspects of attachment, right? Which is we're all here for a reason, for a season, or for your entire life, right? Cliff is dating someone with the horny curse. Give him some slack. I know he's in a relationship with Elise, but Mickey, how long will that relationship last? Like, Is he willing to like risk his life and spend his life essentially for Elise and trying to like find ways to like be there for her? Or is that going to get taxing? I see Cliff as less important than Zenoba. He seems closer. Sure. No, and that's sort of what I'm trying to highlight. Thank you, Combat Calico. Is like Zenoba definitely seems as though he's like more of a character that you're more bound to go ahead and like see the relationship keep evolving with Rudy as opposed to Cliff. You know, Cliff is a bro through and through. Cliff's schlong gotta look like a piece of charcoal. True.
詳しい内容については言えませんが、先日とある病から解放されました。
ボス、病気だったのかにゃ？襲ってこなかった理由はそれなの？
おめでとうございます師匠。世に相談してくれてもよかったのですぞ。
なるほど、大変だったな。何にせよおめでと
う。魔法大学に入ってから1年、俺を悩ませていた病気が治った。シルフィーがとても大切なものを捧げてまで俺を助けてくれた。
Don't say that. Oh. I finally feel human again. He just had sex and he finally feels human again. Your brain will tie in instances. Whatever you say, your narrative is, your brain will tie in those instances. Something bad happens to him in the future. Again, what will make him feel alive? What will make him feel self-worth? Because right now he's tying in his self-esteem with aspects of sex to feel human again. Isn't having sex the most human thing? It's a base need, Ultimate Kiwami, 100%, right? Having sex is a base need. Sexu, you know, is a base need. Like, if we're gonna go off of like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? The base needs: sex, food, water, shelter, blah 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 blah. Valentine, yo, welcome on in. Sekusu. And then you have all the other ones going up. Actually, let me bring it up. So let's look at this. What is he tying in together? This is why it's dangerous. He's tying in sex with self-esteem, with ability to go in and feel good, with friendship and sexual intimacy. He's tying in all of these: love, belonging, sexual intimacy, with sex. What happens to someone if all of a sudden, say, major friendship or family issue arises? Let's say that all of a sudden, I don't know, Sylphie were to pass away and he's down in the slumps. He just linked these three together in his mind. Oh, Rudy. Oh, yeah, exactly. They drop to base needs. They drop all the way down. But let's say that Sylphie were to pass away. What happens to him? Fight or flight kicks in, right? He might go super depresso. He might either start raging, or if someone is there at the appropriate time, and that's it, it's like me, right? And I'm like, oh, Rudy, son, it's okay. I'm here for you. Oh, Rudy, son, you're amazing. What will Rudy do? Please let us not. No, I'm just saying it's supposed. I mean, we could do the same thing. What if Zenith's passed away? Or what if, like, one of his sisters passed away, right? Fight, flight, freeze, fawn, or fuck. Straight up. It's the 5 Fs. Fight, flight, fight, freeze, fawn, or fuck. You know? Good afternoon. So that's sort of what I'm trying to go ahead and highlight through that. Is more than likely, these core instincts are going to pop up, and you're going to try and go through something like that, right? Flight, yeah, flight, to run away. Fight, to try and fight back against whatever's there. Fawn, to try and, ooh, I'm your Discord kitten, you know, the whatever, to try and appease, right? Freeze, right? You don't know what to do. Fuck. It's the only way that you can let your emotions out so that you can go ahead and try and come down to a base state again. Hate to put it that way. It's the 5 Fs, and no one likes to talk about the 5th F there. You know? Discord kidded. But that's sort of what I'm highlighting through this, is him saying, I finally feel human again, scares me down to, like, the pits of my fucking asshole, brother. Like, I love you, Rudy, but that's a fucking red flag right there.
悩ませていた病気が治った。シルフィーがとても大切なものを捧げてまで俺を助けてくれた。ようやく人に戻れた気がした。
発情の匂いが強くなったにゃ。人工授精との提供の危機だにゃ。そこによると妊娠するの。
Get too close and you'll end up pregnant. Oh, brother. Actually, good question. Do you guys think that there? This might be an aside, right? Do you guys think that there's any form of like contraceptives in like this world, considering that they even have to cure like they could probably use healing magic or whatnot for like STDs and shit? I like how these beast girls are yeah, probably.
失礼な。僕は紳士ですよ。七星さんはもし誰かと付き合ったらその相手に何を望みますか？
Oh.
突然何を言い出すの？恋バナ？
似たようなものです。
私は早く帰りたいの。真面目にやってくれない？いつも雑談ばっかりして。黙って手を動かせばそれだけ効率が上がるのよ。
七星さんはあれですか？恋愛経験はない人ですか？
私にだって好きな人ぐらいいるわ。
Just let me cook.
俺は一体何したってんだ。
Wait. Hold up. Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. Chuck got a 3-pointer. If these 2 high schoolers that went missing, right, were they sent to the same time, different time? What is time in Mushoku Tensei? If you got isekai'd, did you get sent to the same time, different time? What is time in Mushoku Tensei? Which brings in the next element. If Rudy got reincarnated and these 2 high schoolers are somewhere out there, right? Clearly, we have an aspect of, oh, Lord, hold up, I see, because Rudy was sent 10 years. Exactly. So we have reincarnated. We see Rudy going through his baby, right? When did these, like, for example, if we can make that assumption, that logical assumption, that Nahoshi doesn't fit into this world. So Nana was one of them, right? Apparently, if we make that assumption. So if we come in here and we're going to do this baby, blank, displacement, blank, how long until the next person comes through? If the next person is here. Ed, the dark-haired high schooler, was the back of the ambulance. Only the blonde guy is missing. How long? I've forgotten so much. If the person is even here. Because clearly this is showing a displacement in time. Why did Rudy get auto-reincarnated, right? And then later on, right? What if they were before the plot? True. What if they were before Rudy? Could be absolutely true, where there was someone over here, but then you would clearly still have, if it has Nana Hoshi's qualities, someone that probably doesn't fucking age. Which brings up another question, and I know this sounds weird, but if time, it works differently in the MT world, What's not to say that time doesn't cycle? If time clearly works differently, according to what's been showcased here, what's not to say that there's not 1,001 possibilities that are happening currently to either Nanahoshi, Rudy, or anyone else that's been a cause of this time disturbance? This is getting too big brain. I know this is probably getting fucking ridiculous, but this is where my mind is at. I'm thinking about like time in general and the psychology as to what that would do to a person. Specifically, if we're talking about any sort of displacement, right? Displacement in time that allows one to view time not through a 3D perspective, the way that we do it, but through a 4D perspective that can take advantage of something like this. That's where my mind is. Because currently we only see time essentially just going forward, right? But time doesn't just go forward, it goes backwards as well. Time is circular. If someone is able to go ahead and understand this displacement and the way that this works, they'd be able to understand time in a circular event. It does cause a lot of different fucking opportunities or things to happen. That's if the writer ever wanted to approach it that way. I'm fucking going wild with it just because it's Mushoku Tensei, and I know that the author is like insanely smart enough to think about like 1,001 possibilities. I don't know if it's gonna happen. I'm just saying, like, psychologically, if I was writing this story and I've already mentioned an aspect of a displacement of time, how would I use this to go ahead and showcase that story further, right? Isekai science, yes, like science, right? Or an aspect of science, because we only got to a couple episodes in. Anyway, sorry guys, I feel like I overcooked on that one. Apologies. Welcome to a common fucking Psyculturists stream here. Anyway, let's go.
喧嘩してそれっきりだけど。
そういえば七星は喧嘩の最中に召喚されたんだったか。
すみません。
謝るくらいなら手を動かして。
I like cooking streams.
好き
Good.
な人は普通に一緒にいてくれるだけで十分よ。
Overcooking, yes.
最近は定期的にパウロに手紙を送っている。
で十分よ。
If you were in Nanahoshi's shoes, chat. If you were in Nanahoshi's shoes and say that you were eternal in the way that you are, how long would you wait for the person that you love? I have a genuine fear for Nanahoshi, which is what happens to her or for her if Rudy goes away. What happens the moment that Rudy's like, yeah, no, I'm done. I'm out. What will she do in that scenario? We're only 3 minutes in, guys. We're what happens to her? Mind break? Isolation? Freeze? Fawn? Fight? Flight? Fuck? What do you guys think she's gonna do? No worries, man. Appreciate it, Kusi. We're done when I said we're done.
最近は定期的にパウロに手紙を送っている。病気が治った以上、家族との再会を目指してもいいのだが、その前にやらなければならないことがある。シルフィーにミサオを立てる。彼女が俺を助けてくれたように、今度は俺がシルフィーの望むことをしてあげる番だ。
そういえば。
結婚ってどうすればいいの？
My dude's like, I'll marry her. Wait a minute. How do you marry someone? My dude over here making fucking commitments, brother. Ooh, okay. Question for you guys, right? How to marry someone for dummies? Question for you guys. If you've been in a relationship, have you ever been in a relationship where you thought you were going to get married to them, or you guys like were like, hey, you know what, like we'll get married after a certain period of time? How did that relationship go? One of your first relationships, if that ever happened to you. How did that go for you?
結婚ですか？
ええ、 そういう時どうするのかちょっと気になって。
そうだな。まずは家だろ。
いきなり家ですか？
当たり前だ。結婚するのに家もなくてどうするんだ。
そういえばパウロも結婚するにあたってブエナ村に住むようになったんだったか。
相手側がいいところのお嬢さんで家を持っているってんならともかく、どっちも家なしだったら男が用意するのが解消ってもんだろ。
この世界ではそういうものなんだ。
Thanks so much for the
わかりま
sub.
した。
Appreciate it.
まずは家ですね。明日街に出て物件を見てきます。
Interesting. Interesting. So this is what fucking happens in that OP, brother.
ルーデス、お前結婚するのか？
まあ
誰と？
病気を治してくれた人で。
なるほどな。もし相手がミリス教徒なら言ってくれ。まだ略式しかできないがノリとはあげられる。
はい。
Oh. Thanks so much for the hydrate. Appreciate it, mate.
物件を見るとは言ったものの、正直どれぐらいの家を買えばいいのか俺にはさっぱりわからない。シルフィーは王女の護衛だ。護衛抜きにしても仲がいいとなると、アリエル王女が来訪する場合もあるのか。ならそれなりの家じゃないとまずいよな。
Right.
シルフィーと一緒に来た方が良かったかもな。
いやいや、ここで俺の解消ぐらい見せておかねば。
広くて部屋数が多くて、しかも安いような物件は。
See, now you gotta be careful with that shit, brother. Just being straight up about it. Like, if someone fucking's like, hey, I got a mansion for you, it's only gonna be $100 a month. You gotta be a little fucking careful. Like, I'll be straight up with you, brother. Rudy might be stacked at this moment, but if you see something that's a little, like, you know, cost effective, and that's a good question, Kuzi. Is having a house, right, just a part of normal tradition or only for nobility? Like, that is a straight up.
なかなかいい家ですな。
いや、二人で暮らすには大きすぎるぐらいじゃないか。
訳ありなので値段はそう高くないんですよ。
No. No, thank you. I don't want to go into fucking Spencer's mansion from fucking Resident Evil. No, I'm good, you know? Yeah. Oh, I'm good, brother.
呪われているって話だったか。
Luigi's
なんで
mansion.
も夜中になるとどこからか音がして。
Brother, it's best for you to go in there and start being like, Padre nuestro que estás en el cielo. Fucking pray, brother. Nope. Fucking start just spraying holy water or whatever the fuck. Nah, brother. You wouldn't catch me in there. Fuck that, dude. Fuck that. He's going in with the priest, to be fair. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Oh, shit. And the next morning, they find the residents murdered. Échale agua bendita.
翌日家の者が惨殺されていたそうです。
除霊などはしなかったのですか？
冒険者ギルドは犠牲者が出てから受けてくれなくて、魔術ギルドの方も取り合ってくれないみたいですよ。
怠慢だな。
だから二人を呼んだんですよ。さて、ザノバさん、クリフさん、参りましょうか。
Damn. Well, that's an extra $3,000 of expenses there to put in a new door, wood door, oak door in here. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Guys, we're about to do we're about to calculate the damage here. You know, almost fucking immediately.
いきなり壊すなよ。
失礼。扉が歪んで開かなくなっていました。師匠、どうしますか？
まずは1階の右手から全ての部屋を見て回ります。
Wait. 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 Is this just Ghostbusters? Is this just who you gonna call? Rudy. He was straight up like, hey, you know, we got to do an exorcism on this house, Luigi's mansion. Oh no, brother. I mean,
かしこまりました。
なんかお前本格的だな。
一応僕も永久冒険者ですからね。
ああ、そうだったな。それで僕はどうすればいい？
敵を見つけたら初級の進撃魔術で攻撃してください。
了解。
I mean, it's nice that you're seeing who the boys are, right? It's nice that we're seeing that Rudy can rely on others and that he is really stepping up with that confidence. And not that he hadn't before in the previous seasons, but we're legitimately seeing Rudy to start to take those steps forward for growth, for self-care, for whatever that may be. And I think it's awesome just to see like the level of trust that he has with others, the ability to connect with others. It's the boys. It's the boys. Bro, you gotta check everything in that house. Like, if you go down to the fucking basement or the attic or wherever the fuck you're going into, man, you gotta go every inch of that house and take shit out, brother. You gotta clean everything out, brother. No stone left unturned, you know? Check that place.
Huh. いませんね。
それで今日はここに泊まるんだよな。
はい、よろしくお願いします。
もうすぐ日が落ちますな。
例のやつは夜中に現れるという話だ。おそらく何らかの魔物が住み着いているのだろう。街中にいる時点でそれほど強力な魔物ではないと思うが、油断は禁物だ。
Sure.
ジュリが心配ですな。
僕もリーゼが心配だ。
俺だってシルフィーが心配だ。
ザノバ。
何でしょうか。
俺、この件が片付いたら結婚するんだ。
はい、さっさと終わらせてこの屋敷で盛大に祝いたいものですな。
その
Best fucking bro, dude. Fucking best bros, dude. The moment that they're like, hey, I fucking know, dude. He's so happy about it. Like, you gotta invite me. Like, that's how you know. Like, that's fucking real, man. This is why I love this show. Like, you legit get those best bro fucking feelings of like, we're here for you, man. We're gonna go forward. You can't contain me. You can't contain me. Oh, it's so good.
お祝い、ちゃんと僕とリーゼも呼べよ。
当たり前じゃないですか。
No mames, ya. Ya no estuviera ahí. Que se chingue esta pinche casa, you know, fantasmas y whatever the fuck el pinche cucuy. Fuck that shit, brother. I'm out of here. I don't give a fuck, bro. Fuck that, bro. Fuck that. What the?
ルーです。起きろ。音がする。
ザノバを起こしてください。
This is what I fucking hate about ghost hunting shows. This is what I hate ghost hunting shows. Whatever the fuck. They're like, hey, let's split up, gang. Let's split up, gang. We'll be totally fine. Nah, fuck that shit. Me sale la pinche llorona. You'll never see me fucking run so quickly, brother. Fuck that. Or el pinche cucuy or whatever the fuck is out there. Tengo miedo. Tengo miedo. Fuck that, dude. How are you supposed to cover more ground?
Huh?
Pinche llorona.
どうですか
Thank you for the sub,
見える範囲に
man.
はいませんね。索敵します。
わかりました
It isn't anywhere I can see. Oh no, it's not anywhere I can see. Oh, Rudy. You know, what the fuck, bro? It's probably up top, just like fucking climbing and shit. Ah, fuck that shit, brother. Fuck that shit. I fucking, Exorcist fight.
上の階から順番に隅から隅まで調べましょう。
I was kidding. I was kidding, and I did not expect that deliberate shot to the... I was kidding. I did not expect the fucking deliberate shot to the fucking roof there. That is wild. That is fucking deliberate.
上の階から順番に隅から隅まで調べましょう。
あとは地下室だけです
そっちはどうですか？
何もいませんな
どうだった？とりあえず荷物を置いた部屋へ戻り襲撃に備えましょう。
If there's that hidden door and they don't discover it, what if there's a lot of fucked up shit back there that can like slowly kill you or like turns you into this ghost demon type shit or whatever? Creepy basement. Yeah. I'm looking at this and I'm like, this is a zombie spawner, right?
音はした。
Or quickly kill you. Yeah.
あるいはこちらが寝静まるまで様子を見ている可能性もあるが。
まだ潜んでる可能性もある。十分注意してください。
大丈夫そうですな
やはり寝込みを襲ってくると見るべきか。
Nah, fuck that shit. Vete a la verga. Nah. Nah, bro. I'd be like, nah. Fingies. What if you freak out the ghost instead, bro? What if you start sucking on its finger? The ghost is there, bro, right? And it's like, I'm gonna scare you. And you start fucking licking its fingers and sucking on it. And there's, what the fuck? The ghost, what the fuck are you? Oh, okay, I'm done. That was, hey, yo, Ed. Hey, yo. You guys gotta admit, that would be funny. You ghost the ghost instead. Oh. It's a ghost kink. What can I say? What the fuck is this? Ooh. What the fuck? Demon ghost thing. Meet the blessed child. Zenoba's too strong. Gotcha, bitch. Bro's a literal wall. That's so good. I'm not even gonna lie. That is fucking hilarious, and it's awesome that we're exploring it that way. Mine is just too fucking Giga Chan. Nothing will affect them.
母なる大地に恵みを与えし我らが神よ断りに背きし愚かなる者に神罰を与えよエクソシストレートこれは断りに背きし愚かなる者に式では傷一つつきませんぞ母なる大地に
Oh, our God who blessed the land, our mother with bounty. Guys, who's the god of magic? Or like holy magic? Is there a god of holy magic or magic in general? You guys are gonna have to give me a fucking rundown. Because there's the man god, there's the dragon god. Is there like a magic god or whatnot? A skill god? Chad god? Mog god? The Millis faith is monotheistic. Sure, but even then, what would classify them as a god? Right? Not a god of magic. The Millis religion, sure. It sort of makes me wonder about the essence of divine magic, right? That's sort of where I'm at. Like,
恵みを与えし我らが神よ断りに背きし愚かなる者に神罰を与えよエクソシストレートこれは効かないじゃないか俺がやるザラバどけお待ちください師匠いいからどけ俺がやるお待ちください師匠お願いします
and ripped apart its hands, literally going after him. Okay, I mean, I mean, if it run out of fucking energy at that point, right? Like,
師匠まずは部屋に
いや逃げたわけじゃないぞあんな狭い廊下だと邪魔になると思って
sure, brother.
いい判断です。
だろ
まあ俺も腰を抜かしたし
Zenoba's like, yeah, whatever, man. This fucking carrying this beast can't fall cliff.
何も言うまい
Oh.
ザナバ、さっきは助かった。けどな、お前だってどっかの魔王みたいに不死身じゃないんだから。
すごいですよ師匠
これを人形？
師匠素晴らしいですよこれは
ザノバ、いくらお前が人形好きだからってな。
師匠この人形は動いていたんですよ
That looks really fucking advanced. That doll looks really fucking advanced. Automatons. This is why we needed to clear Malevelon Creek, ladies and gentlemen.
は動いていたんですよ動く人形なんですよしいですよ
Even the way that it's built is very weird. Even the way that it's built, I'm like, is this doll of this age? I know it sounds weird, but is this doll of this age? Because I'm looking at this doll, and even the way that it's created, it feels like, I don't know, man. I don't know. A doll to be this precise, this well built, and especially knowing the fucking fascination of these things, and it not necessarily being a ghost, right? You mean, could it be from the future? Yes. Yes. Or the past, even, right? Like the lost technology from the past or some shit. The house is old, though. The house can be old, but again, we were just talking about 4D time and how time can work in many, many situations like that, right? That's why I'm like, Is this doll of this age? And if not, why was this doll placed here? For whom? That is where my mind goes into. Where was this doll placed in here and for whom? Because clearly it was killing and attacking everyone else. Doesn't look like anything to me. For me, it does. Because we already know doll work, genuinely good doll work, a good creation work, a good instances like this is rare. Is a rarity in this fucking world, right? According to Sonoba, according to like others, maybe it's a guard. Sure, but why is it here? Again, that it keeps coming out into that question. Like, for whom was it placed for in this environment? What is it protecting, even if that's the case? Why assume intentionality? Sure, because number one, other people that were in here, right, didn't survive the night, weren't able to go ahead and survive in any way, shape, or form. So then, therefore, yes, people knew that there was stuff happening in here. That means that this wasn't going to go down unless the right people came along. Now, surprise, the Adventurers Guild didn't come in and try and handle this. So it's like, but what is it protecting? Right.
これは
ザノバ、いくらお前が人形好きだからってな。
This is good shit.
師匠この人形は動いていたんですよ動く人形
ですよ
動く人形。
動く人形、自動人形、オートマタ、メイドロボ、幅は。
確かにすごいな。
師匠ようやく気づかれましたか
さすがだな。ザノバの人形を見る目はすでに俺を超えている。
これが人形だと気づきましたよ
ここに動く人形がいるということは、仕組みさえ分かれば俺たちでも作れるかもしれない。
Oh, I'll keep this one. I'll keep this one tucked in. It's gonna go straight in the fucking memory bank. It's gonna go straight in the memory bank. That's. I want to say it, but I'll keep this one tucked in. I'm not gonna nut. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna edge myself until I can't anymore, and then I'll nut. You know. Domo arigato. Say it.
こいつは木製のようだが、もしシリコン素材のようなフィギュアでも動かせるのなら、夢が広がる。
ザノバどうしましょう。胸がドキドキしてきましたよ。
師匠よもです涙が出てきそうですよ
おいお前らいい加減にしろ
Looking at the structure of this thing and looking at the possibilities that this thing can go ahead and do, it only leaves me with a couple possibilities. And I don't want to talk about them just yet because I feel like they're fucking wrong and I don't have enough evidence for them. That's why I'm going to fucking keep edging myself. But based on what we were talking about previously, it keeps fucking coming up to a very similar theme, which is the show that we're watching. Is it like this? Or is it like this? That's where my mind is. What makes you think that, Ed? We were talking about 4D displacement earlier. Specifically to do with time dilation. Is this house specifically, that was a short edge. This house specifically, is this a key pivotal moment? Does this house have something that needs to happen timeline-wise, or maybe not happen timeline-wise, for everything to continue? That's where my mind is going into. That's where my mind is fucking at. Seeing the way how everything is being referenced back. Now, we've already talked about the time dilation and shit that's happening here. But yet this doll was protecting this house. Doll automaton sculptures are very fucking rare, which either means that this came way from the fucking past, understanding that someone might fucking need this house at this point in time, or way in the fucking future, understanding that this place was going to play a very fucking important vital role to either try and keep the timeline, whatever the fuck is happening, the same, or try and divert something from happening. Wasn't that about this world's interaction with another world? You're saying that the doll came from another world too? Not necessarily. I'm saying that if an individual, right, we've already talked about the time displacement incident, which is individuals that came from another world did not come all at the same time, according to what's being referenced in here, right? As a turning point. But what happens if someone were to actually find out what causes the displacing incidents to even happen in the first place for being isekai? If someone's able to go and understand that in any way, shape, or form, they're able to understand the concepts of time, that time is not just linear, right? That time can go ahead and come in many different ways, shapes, or sizes. You're no longer looking at time like this, right? This is a single sheet of paper. You're not looking at time like this. It's and you can open it up and move it around, and take a piece of tissue from the sides or whatever. Understanding that and understanding the self as oneself is, ego, self-esteem, whatever. If some things were to happen accordingly to your understanding of self, where would you put certain instances to divert or keep certain things the same? Oh, go to the stir pot, test the bird. So maybe Rudy's house has been his house in the past, which is the future. But is the past the future and the future the past? Can things change in that direction? If this is even going to touch on elements like this, and if this is a doll specifically to do with anything in that reference, I might just be cracked out. I'm not gonna fucking lie. I might have overcooked here, especially when it comes to scenarios. When it comes to scenarios specific to do with that, I literally might just be fucking overcooking at this point in time, and that's okay. I get shit wrong, Good question. I like this discussion. So the answer is the rat. Here's an idea. The basement is bigger on the inside, and the door is blue. Ooh.
そんなこと言ってる場合じゃないだろうが。
そんなこととは何だ。人形が動いたのだぞ。なぜその重大さがわからん。
魔物には動く鎧とかもいるんだぞ。
ザノバ、手を離してください。
しかし師匠。
クリフ先輩の言うことはもっともです。おそらくこの人形が悪霊の正体でしょう。一体とは限りません。探して捕まえましょう。もしかすると人形の設計図などが見つかるかもしれませんしね。
おお、なるほど、確かに。
この人形がどこにいたのか徹底的に突き止めましょう。壁を開閉した跡がありますね。おそらく
A rank adventure misses the back wall.
この先に部屋があります。ザノバ、ここを押してみてくれ。
承知しました。
やっぱり隠し扉か。
Bruh.
クリフ先輩、この台座が何かわかりますか？
いや、初めて見。
The 3 dots right here, they look like charging ports. Like, if you guys ever get adult toys, sometimes they have the 3 little prongs that you put it in there to charge. That straight up looks like a little charging port for that environment. That's all I gotta say, man. Hey, I'm just referencing, R2. Yeah. So again, it makes me wonder: is this of this time period, right? An adult doll.
クリフ先輩、この台座が何かわかりますか？
いや、初めて見るな。
Thank you, the Ziggler.
何か見つけたか？
ええ、これを。
人形のことが書いてあるように見えますな。
図だけなら魔道具の魔法陣に
認識されたということか。研究成果が残っているということは、部屋の主は事故で死んだ可能性が高い。
何にせよ、人形はあの一体だけだったようです。
はい。
これにて一件落着というわけだ。
Not case closed at all.
認識された。
クリフ先輩、この台座が何かわかりますか？
いや、初めて見るな。何か見つけたか？
ええ、これを。
人形のことが書いてあるように見えますな。
図だけなら魔道具の魔法陣に似てなくもないな。
Magic. So this has to be someone either higher up. That's what I'm saying. It's either someone from the past with extreme knowledge.
そうなんですか？
ああ、最近魔道具につい
Or
て調
someone
べて
from
い
the
るんだが、
future.
似たような魔法陣を見たことがある。
なるほど。
この部屋の主はあの人形を研究していたのだろう。人形にはガードマン的な役割を担わせていたのだと思う。惨殺された人物は運悪く侵入者と認識されたということか。 研究成果が残っているということは、部
あ
屋の主が事故で死んだ可能性が高い。
Guys, whose symbol is this? 1652. You had 2 chances. That's it. Oh shit. Wait, what happened to chat? I look around, I look back, and only the mods can speak? What happened? Ah! You can just put it in sub-only mode, guys. You guys know that, right? Chat is grounded. Chat is being Pepega again. Oh no.
何にせよ、人形はあの一体だけだったようです。
はい。
これにて一件落着というわけだ。
クリス
So they take it with them. Sanoba's new gift. He's like, oh yeah, brother. I'm just taking the entire thing with me. I'm gonna fucking have fun with this doll. Oh, hey, yo. Hey, yo. That's so good.
てもらってありがとうございます。
気にするなよ。僕とお前の仲だろ。それより地下室にあったものはどうする？
ひとまず空いている研究室を借りてそこで研究しましょうか。
Which comes in my element, which is number one, if this is something that you found in this basement, wouldn't you think that there's other elements of things maybe hidden that can cause massive danger? Like, being realistic here, like, if you guys just found this, would you not research the entire fucking place, move everything out, and try and find things? Because this was already a threat in your life, but is this the only threat in your life that is in this house? And that's where my mind goes into. Because it's weird for you to just have one element. Multiple elements, I'd say, oh yeah, no, that's, you know, probably you beefing up security or trying to be okay. Yes.
師匠、
何ですか？
この動く人形の研究、世に一任してもらえないでしょうか。
どうしたんだよ、急に。
世は魔力総量も少なく、
Oh.
手先も不器用です。
Oh.
ジュリのために作り始めた石竜の人形も師匠の足を引っ張るばかりで父として作業が進みません。式の解析には少々時間がかかるやもしれません。すべてを師匠が行われた方が研究は早く進むやもしれません。
研究中に人形がまた暴れたらどうするんだ？
多少暴れられても世なら問題ない。
それはそうだろうが。
お願いします、師匠。
Oh,
師
bruh.
匠の計画が成就したとき、世は金を出しただけだった。
I would just have one thing, Sanoba. If I'm giving you this doll to research, I don't want to see no like Dussy or Doocy on it, you know? Like, I don't want to see no doll on it. You know, like, I mean, you do you, brother, but like, you can do all the research in the world, but I don't want to come back in the future and come back and see this doll with extra. Just say, brother.
結果に終わりたくはないのです。どうかこの研究を世にお任せください。
わかった。ザノバ、お前に任せるよ。
Sanoba explained those stats.
でも隠れて研究されていたくらいだから気をつけてな。
ありがとうございます。
管理だけはしっかりしてくれよ。大学でお化け騒ぎとか僕は嫌だからな。
Right?
思わぬ収穫もあったが、これで夢のマイホームだ。
It's such a beautiful episode just showcasing him getting ready, which makes me wonder, when are we getting the next turning point? Because everything's starting to look up, and I don't like that. I don't like that in a show. Whenever there's an environment, whenever things start to go fucking peaceful, all of a sudden, shit goes haywire, and there's a motherfucking turning point. So, when is the next turning point? That's, yeah.
レディが見せたいものって何かな？すごい楽しみだよ。
棒読みだな、シルフィー。もしかして君、こっそり情報収集とかして事前に知ってるのではないかね？
Oh.
何のこと？僕全然わからないよ。
Oh. And he even put new doors and cleaned up the wind. My man. Get yourself someone like Rudy, though. Like, at least healthy Rudy, please. That's adorable. That is fucking wonderful.
屋根の色はシルフィーの昔の髪の色に近いものにしたんだ。シルフィーは嫌かもしれないけど、俺は結構好きだったからさ。
そうだね。
Oh.
さあさあ、どうぞ中の方も見てください。
Oh, bro, I can't. This is too wholesome. This is the dining room table where we'll be making love. This is the fireplace where we'll be making love. This is the couch where we'll be making love. I see a pattern. This is the bath where, guess what? We'll be making love. Oh, fuck, bro. I can immediately just fucking throw that over to fucking Rudy. This is the kitchen where I'm gonna come from behind. It's cute. It's so fucking adorable, and I love this.
とりあえず2階で用意したのはこの部屋だけです。
すごい。
This is the bed. This is where we sleep. This is where we drink. This is where we eat. I don't know about making love though. Just him going around. But also, genuine question though. For you guys, he bought a big house. How's he gonna fill that up? The bed is only for sleeping, right?
こんなに大きなベッド？
そりゃもちろんシルフィーを美味しく食べるためさ。
No. 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 That was beer. That was not cool. That was not cool, brother. Hey, all the power to you, brother. All the power to you. That was good. Good shit, Rudy. Good shit.
あ、そっか。そうだよね。
シルフィー。
はい。
結婚するとは言ったが、正直どうすればいいのか俺はわからない。こうして家を買ってはみたが、これからのことだって話し合わなければならないことばかりだ。
Sure.
ルディが望むんだったら何人でも。
Hey, yo.
おお。それは俺も望むところだが。
Hey, yo.
アリエル王女の護衛はどうするんだ？
僕らはまだあと2年はこの国にいるし、卒業した後もすぐアスラ王国に戻るわけじゃないんだ。だからごめん。よく考えたらルディに失礼な話だよね。こんな立派なお家も用意してくれたのにあまりつけないだろうし。
So in comes in my question for you, Sophie. What if you were to get pregnant? What if you were to get pregante? Like, would you still be able to guard Princess Ariel or no? Like, what do you prioritize in a semblance in a situation like that, right? Where like all of a sudden, plap 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 pregante, yeah, you're plapping with Rudy, you get pregnant, and you still have a year left of duty. What do? What do you prioritize? And then also, I guess even in that situation, is duty over relationship in this sense? Or, you know, for example, if let's say that Rudy were to fuck up, would you run to your duty? Or vice versa, if you're like Princess Ariel were to fuck up, would you run to Rudy? Like, where are you? Where do you draw your boundaries in that line? His dick. Oh. Oh. This loved everything he said up until this question. If she isn't good enough for me, who could be? If this was rephrased, she is good enough for me. That's it. What about Roxy, Rudy? Or Eris? Are they good enough for you? The way you framed this question scares me. Gotta check the OG Japanese for that. Yeah, please do, because the way that this is framed as a question, narratively speaking, it makes it seem as though like it's a self question of ask, like, oh, there could be other people out there that are good enough, right? Oh. God. God. It's adorable. Oh my God. Noted. Don't go up and disappear on me. In what way, Selfie? In what way? Oh. Oh. Well, that's adorable. And I can't imagine him like being happy with Sophie and having a fuck ton of kids and, living this whole life. But is it going to go that way? Probably not. Is it going to go down a way where everyone just fucking, appreciates it and love one another? Probably not. But I will say, very beautiful fucking episode. Very good way of setting up what's to come. And I feel like it's a very wholesome and healing episode altogether. It's happy ever after. Mods, can we get them out of emo only, please? I don't think that's necessary at the moment. Like, my big thing throughout this entire thing is we're clearly seeing Rudy care more about his attachments and the level that his attachments impact him. For me, that means everything. For me, that says everything, right? Rudy is growing. Rudy is healing. And the fact that people still have this mentality that, like, Rudy is this pedal perv that blah, 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 blah. And it's like, no, he was developmentally stunted and he started over. He's 16 years old, right? Mentally, you can be 1,000 years old. No one will ever fucking know. Developmentally, physically, emotionally, whatever, you're the age, you're your physical age, right? Yeah. After 10,000 years, you're free. You're welcome back, chat. Welcome back. So, like, Frieden, then. Yeah. Yeah. That's one of the main elements that I keep seeing people train throughout their time and time again. And it's like, if you guys are looking at that perspective, you guys are literally missing out on the core elements that the show's presenting. Right? You guys got to take the story for what it's giving you, right? And it's giving you someone that's been reincarnated, started back over from zero, and has started to grow, and has started to go through so many difficulties and stuff. Oh, okay. Next episode, wedding reception. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. If Sylphie isn't good, who would be good? I think there's no good enough. Hopefully. Hell yeah, ladies and gentlemen, for the wedding reception, make sure to bring a tux. Make sure to be dressed up as good as you can be, because it's going to be fire, man. It's going to be fire. How much did they bang after the credits rolled? Probably a lot. Probably a lot. But like that comes into my question, though. Like, seeing this whole group and seeing that this episode was setting up for what may come, it scares me. It scares me that we're starting off this pure, this innocent, this great. Because I'm like, where are we going to be at the end of the core? Are we going to be crying? Or like, where are we going to be? So Ed, the last thing Sophie said is, why do you think she said it? Well, I mean, displacement. First off, he just completely disappeared from the face of the earth. But in comes in the next question, which is it just physical or emotional? Crying at the end of the core, right? Like, where are we gonna be? Sophie is perfection. Yeah, exactly. Overall, though, I gotta give this episode a solid, like, probably 8.5, 8 out of 10. Really, really good. Just setup episode to remind us of the characters, remind us of the interactions, remind us of where he healed, remind us of him taking the next steps forward, of him getting a house, the wedding's coming. So many things are already being set up in one episode, and that's what I'm excited about. And I also got to be honest, kind of glad that it's not like a bunch of people being like, oh yeah, there's going to be 36 episodes to cover a core. And it's like, you know, we know that Mushoku Tensei is doing what, like 12, 13 episodes per core. So we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Cuando Paul hizo a Rudy abandonar a Sophie, exactly. But eso es un trauma. Es un trauma de inmediato, ¿verdad? Especialmente cuando eres un niño y de repente tu mejor amigo se te va. Es un trauma. Man, I wish we had 24 episodes for this. It'd be great. But the amount of story that is being told in the time that we have is great. Who do you picture Sophie and Rudy as inviting? Probably Ariel. Probably Ariel. I can see Rudy maybe sending an invitation out to Rudyard, of course. His family, of course. Zanoba, right? Cliff, Elena Elise. I can see him inviting just like core people. That basically never happens. Yeah. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate y'all coming out tonight. We did it in under 2 hours, which is pretty good for a setup episode. Also, considering that I'm sick, I think we did an amazing fucking job. Through that, I think we're just waiting for SB. SB should be here in a little bit. Overall, though, I do got to say, had a ton of fun. Fucking loved it, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Talk about Zanoba and why he's the GOAT. The jump from the far to the south is kind of hard. I mean, does anybody have a map of everything that we've traveled? What is something that you've witnessed or that you guys have heard people talk about Mushoku Tensei, the good and the bad? Like, what is something that continuously gets thrown out there that you're either happy about or just fucking exhausted on? Like one or the other. Map and DM, thank yous. That he's a pervert? Yeah. Oh, we got a fucking map. Here we go. The P word? Yeah. Unfortunately, I've seen that a lot, especially from other people that enjoy other isekais. But my main thing is, our whole purpose is to love all, like, anime and analyze it and like it for what it is. If you don't like a show, you don't gotta go so fucking hard to, like, try and bring up all these elements and try and, like, be tribalistic, Dragon God's Hole. All right, let's look at this. We started off here. Vog, this big map. We went all the way over here. Traveled around. Wait, what is the heaven continent, though? There are people who hate on Lilia. Yes, there's a lot of people who hate on Lilia and Paul, specifically. The islands, Windport, Zanado Port, okay. Interesting how it's just like one big old circle. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess it is. The capital, he's all the way over here. Holy Melis Kingdom, sure. Hold up. East to Westport. Nico, thanks so much for the sub. Appreciate it, you go. Right in the Chiron Kingdom, sure. Dense Forest area. Zero Kingdom. Dragon God's Hole. I have a couple questions. Right? The continent in general, is this something that's going to be, like, touched on later on? First off, the Holy Land of the Sword. Why is this marked like this? What is the Holy Land of the Sword? Why is this marked like this? Who's here? Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Sword God Sanctum. Is it a sanctum? Is it a place to train? Is this, like, in general? It's a place. Why is there other... there's other, like, islands. Ogre Island, there's a big thing there. The Beirut Kingdom, right? Strife Zone, apparently. Yeah, training grounds. Okay. Holy Land is where Eris went to train. Wait. So you're telling me, according to you guys, Eris is in the Holy Land, Clarend. It's like a master-sized city dojo. I guess that brings up questions of like, number one, if everyone's so close to one another, couldn't this necessarily mean that at some point or one or another, like we're literally going to have an element of like people bumping into one another because they're not that far away, right? If Ares is in the Holy Land of the Swords, wouldn't that just mean that like? Also, what a fucking name! Wouldn't that just mean that like we're really close into like one of those situations where people can go ahead and like bump into one another? Holy shit. I mean, they're not that close as well. I mean, considering to everywhere else we've traveled, it's kind of close. Guys, SP already dropped that on Rudy a while ago, at least twice. Wow. Well, hundreds of miles medieval ages isn't really nearby to bump into each other. But word spreads, and word spreads quickly, even in the modern age, where all of a sudden, right, if something happens like right now to me, right, word still spreads, and I think that's a major element in that. Okay, let's continue. Okay, he was over here. He came down. Kingdom. He goes over to the islands. The Heaven Continent. Question. And I mean this just generally, you can say yes or no. It's pretty small, but also, does the show ever touch on this? And I mean that legitimately. Yes. Okay. So like my main question is the Heaven Continent in general. We've seen the Demon Continent. We've seen aspects of the Demon Continent. So it's just bringing up a lot of questions for me. What's up, brother? All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have SP. Hi. What's up, brother? How was the episode for you?
It's everything that I expected. It started off well. It was everything that I expected, especially from the beginning of it. And I think it started off really well, kind of introducing the whole house, them going in there, looking around, like the whole like honeymoon kind of stuff, like, oh yay, we're gonna find our little dream home kind of thing. The creepy thing on the wall.
Yeah,
I love that thing. It's so funny. And this, like, it felt like Ghostbusters to me as well.
It really did. That was actually an element that I had brought up. I'm like, are we really ghostbusting at the moment? But question for you, the doll. I know we're coming into this.
I knew you would ask about the doll.
Oh, you already had it in your mind. So the doll. Is that something? This is not current technology, clearly. Is that something from the past or something from the future that was placed there?
I would say you're wrong on your assumption. As in that it's current technology. I would say it's lost technology.
A lost technology. My man. That is not... Lost to whom? We're going to go in deep.
Right question.
Because in comes my question, right? Even if you're saying it's lost technology, I mean, number one, let's talk about this. Dolls aren't really that popular in this universe, right? Zenoba started picking it up because of Rudy, and yet they're talking about automaton-made dolls. Which brings up the question for me is like, who would make dolls this in-depth with understanding of human biology and understanding of human self, unless they're a god, or unless there's someone that, like, for example, I was bringing this question up, which is, was this doll placed here for a specific reason of not letting others be in this house until Like, because this house may play an important role in the future. Ah!
So many answers. That doll is kind of like the rat. It's a very pivotal piece of part of the story. I mean, one of the things that's great about the writer is that everything in the story is so key to everything. Like everything's got like a rippling effect, whether it's big or small. It kind of plays a part in the overarching story.
Question. Oh, okay. Well, I know we're asking the question again. We're already jumping straight into it, brother. We're already jumping straight into it. This was meant to keep intruders out. Now, looking back at the episode and thinking about it, there was no spiders in a house that's dilapidated. They didn't really showcase any insects or things in there. Was this doll... Yeah, thank you, Ratception. Was this doll literally keeping everything out? Like, everything. Literally, like, person, bug, place, thing out. And if so, Zenoba taking it out... Now I'm having fears. Now I'm having fucking fears. Wait a minute. I'm gonna note that in for later. I'm over here thinking this doll was placed here for a specific reason of keeping things out, right? Unless the right person came along. Clearly, this doll is now out of the house, so things can move in. That's just basic, yeah. Yeah. I'll find a way to rephrase this question or actually like consolidate this question. My mind's going fucking wild right now because all of a sudden I'm thinking, what if things move in that are not supposed to move in that this doll was keeping out? And again, comes in the question of this doll's placement. Anyway,
It is an interesting question to ask because yeah, I mean, it was clearly keeping things safe, keeping things clean in the house in itself. And now that if it gets removed, what's going to happen to the state of the house? I mean, clearly Rudy's probably going to go in there and clean it up and get it all nice, spruce the moose. So, but I'd be asking more of the question of what's the potential for that thing?
Sure, that's a great question. Comes in my other question here. The symbol on the book. What is that, brother? What is that? Is that a dragon? What we talking about here, man? What we talking about here?
Everything plays a role.
No, don't say that. Don't say that, brother. Legit, what the fuck is that? Wait, what is that? Chat, don't say it. No, like, I guess I'm just... Is your cat on your... Oh. I thought you had a ghost behind you, brother.
Give me 2 minutes. It wants food.
Sure, go right ahead. I guess like the more that we're in this show and the more that like we're analyzing it and breaking it down and talking about the different elements, the more that it keeps coming back into number one, what is Rudy's role in the grand scale of things? Number two is, yes, we're all the main characters in our lives, but how big of an impact does Rudy have in the overall scale of this world? That's like the type of things that my mind is focusing on at the moment. Like, where does Rudy fall into, like, in the overall scale of things? Through with that comes in another line of question, right? Which is, for Roxy and for some of these other individuals that care about Rudy, how is it going to be to see him married going on in the future? Because we have to understand, like it or not, I guess like it or not, right? Depending on the kind of story, yeah, will it drive them away to do crazy things? It could. It absolutely could. Okay, SP, so follow-up question for you.
Yeah.
Roxy seeing this marriage, how will she be comfortable or not in a situation like this? I was just asking chat these questions.
You'll have to find that out.
SP.
You're probing my face to know what the response is.
SP, my man. Well, I mean, what about Eris, right? Which I mean comes into question, like Roxy.
Kill her.
Wait, how old is Roxy? I keep forgetting that. That's not a spoiler
Yeah,
question.
so do I. She's old. 50, apparently.
Around 50.
Around 50.
Okay. Comes in my question. Roxy, we know that they do experience sexual emotions the way that they've experienced. Thanks, Callum, for the sub. For some of the other elements, right? Just based off of her masturbating with Paul and Zenith, we're doing it outside of the things. We already know that sexuality is a big element for Roxy, right? And she plays a mentor role for Rudy. And yes, there's the whole flirting thing, the full flirtatious aspect of things. But in comes in my question: if Rudy is partner, doesn't that cause role confusion for her in that role as well? Because what is she? Is she getting older without a partner and seeing the person that you cared about have a partner? Doesn't that cause an aspect of role confusion, especially when this was based off of a mentor-tutor thing and off of the fact that this was all built on like a flirtatious or sexual element? Yes, there is. Don't get me wrong, dude. The mentor role is important, but yet we know that Rudy still harbors those feelings, and we know that Rudy, there's a lot of those things. So my overall element is: can this aspect of Rudy being partnered push Roxy in a way as well?
That's interesting. Because, yeah, Roxy's clearly older. She clearly, possibly, maybe wants a partner. Question is, how does she go about finding a partner? And especially with everything going on with her life, she's currently busy trying to help Paul find Zenith and then retrieve Zenith. And I mean, Rudy's always been very flirtatious with Roxy, especially when she was currently the tutor. But that was when Rudy was much younger, so she would have just seen that as a silly little boy.
We know that nobility, especially some nobility, thirsted after Roxy enough to the point where it was like extremely weird as Zenoba's brother, and what he was trying to go and do with Roxy. So what if there's an ultimatum that's done for her in that same regard? Oh, I got you. I got you in some way, shape, or form. Hold up. I don't know what that is.
Good questions.
So many
good questions, Ed. But all will be answered soon.
This season or next season? That's the real question.
Don't know if I should answer that. Depends on what Rudy does in the next 11 episodes. I think this core is going to be.
Sure. Yeah, I think this course.
It's going to be 12. Sorry, 12 episodes. So 11 more episodes. So
I'm literally just laying out my thought process so people can follow along as quickly as it's coming, because otherwise, self-explaining it, I might get lost.
To the person asking, will it cover Volume 12? Yes.
Okay. In comes in this aspect, right? Rudy and his emotional states. We already know that Rudy's getting married with Sophie, but let's talk about this, right? We've clearly seen when he's sad or when his pee-pee don't work He was willing to go to desperate measures to get it fixed. But that comes from trauma. That comes from big emotional states. If big emotional states are always linked to some sort of turning point, some way, shape, or form, happy or sad, would that affect his relationship with Sylphie, or is he more prone to be open to Eris, Roxy, Elena Elise, whoever else you want to throw in here? If Elena Elise wasn't with Cliff. Because sex works. He said this episode. He went in there and he's like, guys, I got laid. The question that I'm like, I'm throwing that way up in you.
You're cooking me a whole bloody 7-course meal here.
I told you, SB, I've been prepping. I've been prepping with looking at the characters for a good little bit there. And understanding what a turning point is in season 1. Well, I mean, understanding what it did to him, you know. Thanks so much for the hydrate. Appreciate it. I like how that's not a response. This is the first time I've heard you, like, take an introspective step back and be like, how do I answer it?
Yeah. Because Rudy's very happy right now. He's clearly very satisfied. He's able to finally have sex. Reminds me of that song. I just had sex.
I actually sang that for chat. So good. Yeah. Oh.
The question would be, what would push Rudy to cheat if that was to ever happen?
Probably a moment. Because all it takes, like, even realistically, I hate to put it this way, I hate to burst people's bubbles. People are always like, yeah, loyalty, trust, whatnot. All it takes is you to be in one bad moment, like in one sad moment or something like that. Here, let me flip you over to the other side real quick. That's just better for me. It's easier. All it takes is one sad moment, one big moment of desperation, grief, trying to go ahead and, like, maybe even understand yourself. Like, oh yeah, like, you know, I'm going on a self-help journey, right? All it takes is one moment of a person being there, one bad day, and you can fuck up, like, really, really badly. So I'm sort of assuming we've seen turning points be a major aspect for them. Is Sylphie always going to be with Rudy, or is she going to be with Ariel, and therefore leaving Rudy alone to handle whatever may come in the future? Because she already said she's going to be with Ariel for, like, you know, she has 2-year commitment left.
Just trying to think. That should be answered in the next episode or so.
Oh, okay. Okay. He has Paul genes, and Paul genes have a history of fuck ups. So I guess it comes in my next question, all right? Would you see him cheating with of the current crop of females? Would you see them introducing someone here? I don't see him introducing with the cat girl or with the wolf girl, like, at all. You know, I see him more capable of cheating if Eris or Roxy were to come into the picture. That's who I see him more capable of cheating with, because he already has that deep emotional connection with these people. Eris did hurt him, but if there's a point in time where, say that they're alone and that, like, he's going through a fucking traumatic incident or something major like that, who was his attachment for a good while? It was Eris. You know, same thing can be said about Roxy in that same environment. What about Blondie that left it hanging? Sure. I mean, if I feel like if Sarah were to come back, right, there's gonna be a lot of, like, discussion that they need to have, as well as Eris. But still,
Eris is a little bit dense, so that conversation would be a pretty interesting one.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, in comes in the question, though, right? Because clearly Eris meant something else by her leaving her hair behind. Rudy interpreted it completely different. Do you think, I don't know how else to put it, if Eris were to come through and see that he's married, would it be a sign of like, wait a minute, I thought you would wait for me. Wait a minute, I thought we had something special. Or would it be more of a chance for her to be like, yeah, he's a great man. Of course he would be married. Oh!
All in good time, young Padawan. All
All
in
in
good
good-
time.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
You know what's actually really funny about this?
Mhm.
I was just kind of thinking about that because I was like, I was thinking about another topic of this that's connected to it, and then I was like, you know, this really comes back to the rat.
Stop. Does it?
It really does. It actually does.
I hope you know this rat thing is fucking killing me, man. Like the more
It's
you
gonna
guys
kill you until, because I was thinking about it last night before I went to sleep. I was like, when is season 3 gonna come out? And I was like, it's probably not gonna be until like 2026, probably early to
Sure.
mid. So I'm like, God, that's gonna be such a wait.
Stop. I have to wait till season 3 to find out.
Yeah.
Brother, you don't. It's gonna play games for like 2 years. That's gonna. So here's a question for you, and this was something that we came up with earlier. So, SP, are we the way we're looking at things right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is this again? I know I've asked this before, but I'm going to ask it. Is this the first run through?
How many nuclear warheads have you been hiding, mister?
I mean, this episode just reiterated something that I had to go back to episode 2 to check out in episode 1, which is this, right? Displacement time, right? And I know I went over it like in the episode. Is different. Now, Hoshi comes in at a different time than Rudy does, and then whoever the other person that they're looking for is could be in the past, could be in the future. What is Nanahoshi looking for? What is she trying to study? A way to go back home, right?
Mm.
Which in essence would be able to go ahead and understand whatever the displacement incident is. So if you understand what displacement is and you understand the differences in time, it's like time is like this whiteboard, except that we're only looking at one side. Understanding time in a 4D style of displacing, that means that you don't understand that it's forward and backwards. So i.e., someone could be here, right, and be seeing every little thing that's happening through it if they understand the mastery of that. So that's why I'm asking. I'm like, is this like a time story? Is there time fuckery in some way, shape, or form, or multi-parallel line fuckery in some way, shape, or form involved in this show? Whether it's 1,000 years from now or 10,000 years from now.
You want to know something really funny?
Sure.
There's something about Nanahoshi's whole thing that is connected to that doll.
Oh?
I'm not going to say what, because chat's probably going to lose it and think about it and be like, oh. But you'll have to wait and see how that doll is pivotal. That's what I mean. Everything in that story, the writer's so craftful. They always place something that has an importance. They're never wasteful with their characters, with the plots, with the science in it. Everything always plays a pivotal role in some way, shape, or form. It could be large, it could be small. There's always a rippling.
I love how you didn't answer the question, but you questioned the question with the question. That was so well done. That like I am taking the whole shit thing and I'm compartmentalizing it somewhere in there. That's interesting. I'll let you get away with it for now, but just know I'm working on the theory, my man. I have a whole theory going on there. And what's funny is I bet you people are still gonna freak the fuck out. Like, how can you understand it? It's just basically understanding like basic concepts like this, if it's true, because I don't even fucking know. But
It's actually really funny because I was reading volume 24 and 25 because I got my volume 24 review out last night. And apparently I said something in it because I was like thinking about the volume. I was like, oh, this is what I could see the story doing in the future, even with as few volumes left. And someone's like, you've been with Ed for too long, you're wizarding too long.
it's good. I'm glad the wizardry is sticking. Man, you always find ways to like divert my way of thinking, and then I come back and I'm like, "Fuck you, SP." Like later on, like another episode, I'm like, "Dude, we were on the right path." Speaking of paths, my man, I missed this. I missed just fucking shooting wild with you and trying to see how far we can dig into these characters.
I miss Mushoku Tensei.
Right.
There's so much fun to it. And the story itself is just, it's so enriched with a lot of characters, a lot of emotions, a lot of world building. So it's just something where you can sit there for hours just thinking and diving into like every aspect of the characters. And there's so many mysteries, even I wonder, when it comes to certain characters and where they're going to go.
Same. So Orsted, how did he become a god? Do you know that? Chat. I'm just curious because I'm working on a theory about man god in general.
The man god's wrapped in a lot of mystery, so I've wondered a lot about the man god.
Sure.
I have a feeling that if I read Dragon's Tale, there'd probably be a lot of stuff in there.
Wait, what is Dragon's Tale? He explained to me. Is it like
meant to be? I'll just wait. There we go. It's meant to be like a. It's.
What's up, Masha?
I'm trying to actually work out what old Dragon's Tale is. It's like the web novel. It's not official light novel stuff yet, but it's history lessons basically on like the past and the world and major characters that played a pivotal role. Because I haven't read it yet. I was gonna read it as like after everything, the main story had been finished. So I've got like another volume to go because I've got 26, and then I'm done the whole main story, and then I've got redundancy volumes to read once those come out. And then I was going to read Dragon's Tale because apparently there's a lot of stuff in there to do with the past and major characters that have played a role in the story of Mushoku Tensei. You could technically read it after volume 17. I'll still read it as the last thing. But yeah, I have a feeling Dragon's Tale has probably got some stuff to do with the man god in there because there is a lot of mystery with the man god.
Right. And that's sort of the main element that I'm trying to bring up is like, for example, specifically to do with Orsted, how did he become a god? Does he have a family? How does that work out? And then even with the man god, how did he come into being? Like, how did the man god rise to the level that he's in? Right. Wait, what? Okay, Laplace became the demon god by subjugating of them in Shikiri-shika. That still doesn't explain. I'm specifically asking about like Orsted though. Like number one, does Orsted have family? That's a very like key element in that.
Yeah, I was about to call you Rudy there. Ed.
Rudy.
Ed wants to know more about the who, what, where, how when it comes to Orsted.
Right. Because it's like, exactly. Because for Orsted, he's such a character that strikes fear into people that they're willing to go and like jump off a cliff to not face him. Clearly, something major happened between him and the man god. Clearly, there's beef. Clearly, this is something that just transcends normal aspects. Actually, even further than that. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a fucking minute. Wait a 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 minute. Bro, you got me full on going. Mange God. Okay.
You can talk. I can hear you.
Sure. Clearly the man god and Orsted looping or Orsted understanding. Ed, I'm gonna piss you off. Orsted looping and Orsted understanding, like, oh, Rudy, you know, they didn't have a fucking firstborn or whatever the fuck that was, right? There's a clear understanding of whatever the displacement time theory is that is happening here for him to be able to truly understand that and come through with it. So in comes in my question. If Orsted is looping, there's all these loops happening, then that means that he's not breaking any of these loop cycles, and that means that this is a standstill, right? Clearly. But Rudy is an external agent of change that the man god addresses, and that even Orsted addresses as it not being a part of this fucking loops.
That is true. He does note on that in season 1.
In season 1. Is Rudy the one that's going to end up breaking this? Because this is sort of what it's leading into. Man God never said that. Orsted said that. Orsted
said it. When they met on the mountain, he noted on his anomaly.
So is Rudy the key to this, or and this is gonna get even more fucked up? You ready for this? Because my brain's going, man. You got me fucking going now that like we're leading down a path like this. Wouldn't that mean that by him trying to go ahead and be an external agent of change, he has to go ahead and understand whatever this time, curse, displacement, whatever, man god versus Orsted is happening. Therefore, Rudy might be one of these individuals. I'm not just saying Rudy's the only one, but clearly Orsted's looping. Orsted understands that time isn't just, back and forth, and it loops infinitely for him. Which I'm kind of curious, at what point does it loop for him? So if Rudy's an agent of change for Orsted or for the man god, then he's going to have to understand this at some point. Oh.
You're dancing too close to the sun, Ed. You're dancing too close.
Bro, this is just from our fucking convos. We've had like a full season of just like deep convos, and you've had me working on this shit for the past core entirely. I remember us talking about it in some of the trailers and some of the fucking things in there. You've had me...
chat is right. The rat will answer a lot of these questions.
But when? Careful, your wings are made of wax.
That's a slow cooker, that's for sure.
Long live the rat. I'm just excited, man. I'm so excited for I don't know, whatever this season might present or where this might go. I might be fucking wrong. I don't know. I'm just literally talking about time dilation and literally displacement theories and 1,001 things, Oh, why are people freaking out? No.
I think too many people are posting too many spoilers.
In 2026, The Purge. I mean, my main thing though is it's all about the characters and actually understanding the character, like the analysis of these characters. Because ultimately, if the characters were written shittily, we wouldn't be able to go this deep and ask these questions.
I mean, that's the great thing about Mushoku Tensei is there's so many things that you can take from every single episode. And even this episode itself, even though I would say it's one of the more quieter episodes, it's still got a lot of stuff in it that's very interesting.
Right.
But I would say this one's like the taste of what's to come.
You see, that's why I'm excited. I'm excited because we're starting off calm, which means more than likely we're gonna either end up extremely chaotic or calm at the end of the core.
You'll be broken by the end.
Don't say, oh, SP.
I guarantee you will cry.
SP. Oh no. Oh no.
I mean, season 1 broke people.
Yeah, season one was sad. Absolutely. Oh, Luca, man, thanks so much for the follow. Overall, though, I'm thrilled. I'm excited for it. Is there anything that you want to see this season explored?
There's only one particular scene that I really want to see done as well as possible. I've been told that it's done really well, and that is coming up very soon. It should be fully explored within the next 4 episodes.
Oh, okay. Now I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of afraid, but curious what you're mentioning by that.
It's a very emotional scene.
Oh, see, I kind of want to see Rudy and Paul get closer together, especially as the seasons keep going like forward. Kind of work out that little bit of a bump that they went through and like just connect. Like they really do need to go save Zenith, that whole ordeal. But like I just really, really want to see Paul, Rudy connect and have that emotional like connection and kind of showcase like, hey, Rudy, like, you know, you're growing up, that type of conversation, right? But yeah.
Because you got to remember, with the whole thing that happened with Paul, that did leave a bit of a mark on another family member.
Wait, which one?
Paul and Rudy having that fight.
Oh, right. Right.
I mean, that did leave a bit of a lasting mark on Norn.
Right. Well, I mean, we have 2 different takes there, Aisha and Norn, right? And I guess both of them establish different attachment styles altogether. How healthy is the relationship between Aisha and Rudy to start with? Your eyes, brother. Oh no. Oh no. How healthy will it be? Oh no.
Rudy will be tested in many forms.
Brother. Okay. And then what about, because I'm assuming that like Norn is probably going to have a healthier boundary with Rudy than Aisha does.
Sure.
Just off of that reaction. Oh no. That's one of the questions of all times. Aisha's a growing girl. What the fuck, chat? What do you mean by that? I mean, okay, like, yeah, they're growing, but like, how old? Because you guys have read the novels. How old are they in the novels? Like, at the end of the novels?
I was going to say, her mum is pretty big. I mean, to be honest, if I was Rudy, I would have at least tried it with the maid, but bloody Paul got in first.
At the end of the novel, no spoiler. At the end, no spoiler. Oh, God.
I mean, the light novels are very long stories, so That's the thing. Whenever you ask a question of like what's their age, it's more of a question of like where in the story you're talking, because it's a long-running story that goes over many periods
So-
of their lives.
Wait. So then you're telling me that we're gonna go through like Rudy getting old as fuck then? Because you could have been like, oh yeah, you know what? They're in their 20s, they're in their 30s, whatever. But you just said it's a long running story, so
I mean, you might see an old Rudy.
what, with the fucking cane sitting down having a heart attack or some shit? Like, what are we talking about here? How old? How old, SB?
Guys, you know what I'm doing right now. You know where I'm going. Let's just say something happens. Rat,
Something-
Rudy.
Rudy, a 7,000-year-old wizard. That's what I was thinking. If okay.
I mean, that is actually kind of funny, actually, when you think about it. One of the comments is actually really good. Rudy, old Rudy, complaining about rats. Food for thought.
Who's telling this story?
It's a good question. I mean, I forgot the writer's name.
Refugee. No. Because it's clear that there are gaps and there are things that are happening that, like, it's focused, of course, like in any other story, major points, right? But you're saying that we're going to get to a point where Rudy gets old as fuck.
I mean, clearly. And I mean, I know some people will scream that's a spoiler, but we've gone through Rudy as a baby, a young child, a teen. Now I would say right now, and this is the only thing that's really kind of different between the light novel and the anime, is Rudy looks a little bit younger in the anime, but he is still technically like a young adult.
Right.
So he's gone through a multitude of stages of life, and the story is clearly not scared to continue pushing that envelope of time. He's currently 16 in the story.
Right.
He looks very young for 16, but then same could be said for me as well. So, but I feel like in the light novels he looks a little bit older.
Time goes ever forward. Does it, or does it go back sometimes? That's the real question. That's the real question. But again,
Yeah, in the light novels he looks 22.
Oh, does he?
currently in the story? Yeah, he looks much older in the light novels. Which I guess actually, if he is 16, then he actually looks like his proper age in the anime. So I'm not 16.
wait. Hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait. Author Rudius Greyrat. Translation John R.F. Maggot. Yeah, Maggot.
Oh, cat's out the bag. Rat's out the bag.
Refugee? Maganote. Rah. Oh, I didn't know there was a raider. Well, welcome on in. We're doing a Mushoku Tensei analysis. Welcome on in. Rats out of the trap. Appreciate it. It's an anagram, is it? So we just finished, I guess, the episode for Mushoku Tensei. It was really interesting. Welcome on in. We're theory crafting. We're analyzing the characters and going in deep. So in comes in my question. Would Rudy really write? SB chat. Would Rudy really write? Because I don't see him much of as a writer.
I mean, people do change.
Sure. Actually, SB doesn't even know. Wait, what? So the question is,
Nick, I can bluff. I can pretend I know something.
would he? Rudy as a writer? Exactly. Bulbous, thanks so much for the 5 gifted subs. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it.
I could definitely see Rudy being a writer.
You can?
Yeah.
I can see him maybe in his like later years, but even then, I don't think that he would be as eloquent of a writer. Unless it like he was writing a fucking anime or hentai or some shit, right?
I mean, he's very much attached to his past already now, and a lot of the highs and the lows that he's gone through. I mean,
Sure.
you look at some of the attachments that he already has to like Roxy with the shrine and everything. So he's clearly willing to look at like past aspects of his life and attach to him. And I feel like Sylphia's going to be one, because
Right.
Sylphia's been a pivotal part in his life. Eris, maybe he might want to bury that behind 10 feet of alcohol, but we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, I definitely see Rudy as being a novel writer, but I don't think it's something that he would do until he's got the time. Think of like retirement goals. And that's just my speculation because, yeah, I actually don't know the answer to that.
You're making me really, really question this. You're making me like my brain is going fucking deep, man. Like layers deep, trying to go ahead and understand. Like, could he be the writer, or could he just be dictating what to write?
I don't think he would be the one to lie. Not in his own diary.
He doesn't know, chat. He doesn't know. It's not that actually the thing that Tolkien did with his books, but I can't write it here. Come to Discord. Oh, yeah. I don't fucking know. I'm curious though. Really curious, especially as this story keeps developing. Mushoku Tensei is honestly such an amazing story, and I think this is why I appreciate it. Mushoku Tensei, ReZero, all these stories, like you can tell that the authors really, really cared about it. And something that I love about Mushoku Tensei, at least like some of the chapters that we read on stream, is it's easy to read. It's not like you're reading fucking Shakespeare. Like, there's a lot of
Mushoku Tensei is the one light novel series where I've been able to get through a volume in a day and then start the next volume straight after. It just flows naturally, very nicely and very smoothly. There are a couple of other light novel series that I've read that are a bit more challenging. Like you feel like you've ran a marathon just getting through it, while Mushoku Tensei just feels like you're kind of breezing through it, but you're still going through like a decent chunk of the story, but you just feel like it just feels all natural and flows nicely.
Right. And for me, like, just for example, comparing like the different chapters and stuff that we read in here, I think I prefer Mushoku Tensei's writing style over ReZero's writing style. Because we've done a chapter of ReZero. Don't get me wrong, I love the ReZero anime, but like the Mushoku Tensei writing style is just easy to get into and go through, and like not really have to like stop and be like, right? As opposed to like the way that other authors approach it. I love both shows. Yeah. I'm just saying, like writing wise, at least the chapters that we read, MT's writing style is pretty smooth. But through that, really good first episode. I'll be honest, I really liked how calm it was. I actually liked the piece and like the reiterance through it. And I will say it's a good first episode. It is a really good first episode.
They started off in a perfect location because it kind of just gets you like warmed up. It's like, hey, here's the world again. Here's Rudy. Here's the gang. This is their next adventure. Look, Rudy's now married. He's getting a house. Kind of situation.
Right. Which comes in my question for you. What do you have to say to like content creators, AniTubers, reactors, whatnot, that literally hate watch this show? Because there are people out there who like watch this show just to hate watch it and like create a tribalism or a community out of hate watching shows. And that's, yeah.
If you're still watching the show after this long and you hated it from season 1, you have mental disorders.
Yeah.
God, should actually see a psychologist. Because at that point, if I hated a show that much, I just wouldn't bother with season 2.
Right.
I would have just been like, okay, yep, it's not for me, move on. But if you are watching it, then what you're actually doing is you're actually proving my point that I've had about reactionary channels, is that you're only watching it for the clout.
Right. Right.
And I'll stand. I don't care if reaction channels like that come after me. It's not to all reactionary channels, to be very clear. But at the end of the day, if you're going to hate watch something, then you're clearly demonstrating that the only reason why you're watching it is because it's getting you the attention, which means it's all for the clout, which I get. Make the bag, you do you, brother and sister, but you have zero respect for me as a person.
I guess my big thing is when you hate watch, you enable a culture of toxicity, right?
Yeah. And that's the reason why I do not like hate watching, is because you can watch something and still be critical of it. There's many
Right.
shows that I watch that I like and enjoy. Slime started airing this season. I made a video on it and I talked about some of the things I like, some of the things I don't. But if you just hate every aspect of it and you go into it and like, Rudy's all these horrible things, I can't stand it, it's just like, okay, just move on.
Right. But my
drop
thing,
it.
I guess, chat, for you guys, like, genuine question: how healthy is that for you to go into an environment where all you're doing is consistently shitting on characters like this, and like you take this with you into the real world? Because it's not just Rudy; it's anybody, or like, you know, Rudy or these characters. It's anybody that links close to these characters. You're reinforcing that mentality, right? That's my thoughts on it. It's like, if we go in and we're like, yeah, Rudy's fucking scum, people can't change, blah, 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 and like, you know, consistently going through this, then why would a person go to therapy? Or why would mental health, like, you know, psychologists and individuals be so effective on situations like this?
The thing that I hate about hate watching is that that's what you bring up, is that a lot of people, they hate watch something, they build a community of toxicity, they start feeding into each other, and then they become almost like a cult.
Right.
And then they start going to other people's like parties where they're having fun talking about something like Mushoku Tensei, and then they start beating down everything, putting things on fire, pissing on everything, destroying the party, and going, yeah, this shit. And that's why I just say, move on. Go watch something else. There's so many other shows out there that are doing well. Spice and Wolf, if you want a continuation of Feiren, go watch that. That's a great series that if you like that series, you'll probably like Spice and Wolf. If you want another isekai that doesn't have a Rudy type character, Moonlit Fantasy, that's one option. Then you've got Slime as well. There's a multitude of animes out there. There's so much. But I think because Mushoku Tensei is a anime that does have a lot of attention drawn on it because of some of the controversies, and trust me, there's going to be stuff that's going to come up this season that's going to rile the fan base up, like oh
gosh.
So if these reactionary channels are watching it, yeah, they're in for a ride because they're going to see some stuff that probably is going to trigger them. I just think at that point you're building such a toxic fan base, and that ends up bleeding into other communities, like other content creators that just want to watch and enjoy something, and now you've got all these toxic people blowing into their video comments, just derailing conversations and all that kind. And I that happens all the time in my videos,
Right.
where I'm talking about something, and it could be a light novel review, and someone just rolls in and starts bitching about it. And it's like, dude, why are you in my volume 12 review of this series? Like,
Right.
if you hated the series, why are you here? Just go watch something else. And that's just the thing that frustrates me about the Anichu community and the anime community as a whole, which started me on a rant about your tweet last night, which was yesterday for me, because I read it as we were doing the countdown, and one person in the comments didn't get what you were trying to get across. You were talking about comparing Subaru and Rudy.
Right.
And they were like, no, I disagree. And then the second part was like, then they ended up actually saying what you were saying. One of Ed's tweets was talking about why it is a bad idea to compare
traumas,
Subaru and Ed's traumas in the context of in a negative aspect. So Ed's not saying that you can't compare traumas,
right,
but you can't compare them just to demoralize and dismiss and belittle someone's trauma. So for example, if Ed lost 2 family members and he's mourning those 2 family members' death, and I rocked up and went, well, your trauma doesn't matter because I lost 5 family members.
Right.
That's the kind of context to it. Like, everyone goes through trauma, but comparing them in the sense of being like, oh, well, theirs doesn't matter because theirs is worse, and power scaling trauma, that's not healthy. If you want to compare them and say, oh, Rudy went through this is how he dealt with it, Subaru went through this is how he did it, then you're comparing on how they've dealt with things in a positive and negative aspect, but you're not belittling and dismissing their traumas and how what they've gone through. And that was the context that I felt that, at least how I interpreted your tweet. If I interpreted it wrong, then tell me. But
you're
I feel
100%
like some
correct.
people, I feel like some people saw that as you can't compare. It's like, no, you can compare. It depends on how you're comparing.
Well, and the number one thing through this is the moment that you start comparing people's traumas, and you're like specifically in a negative light, where you're like, oh, you know what, Espy, you've gone through so much more than Valentin has, and you know, oh, Valentin, this happened to you, but look at Espy and everything that he's gone through. Well, congratulations, you've just shamed the whole person and invalidated their experiences and because our capacities to handle trauma are all different. We all have different things that, like, for some of us, I lose my dog, I might go into full crisis mode. For other people, you lose your dog and you're like, oh, whatever, I'll go find them later on. It's not a big issue. He's chipped, whatever. And you keep going, and it's like 1,001 things can happen to you, and you're still okay, right? But all of us have different empathy meters and different resistance meters. But to go ahead and be like, hey, you know what? Fuck you, Valentin. Your feelings are invalidated. Espy's feelings are true. He's the only one that matters because look at everything that he's gone through. Well, guess what? I haven't just invalidated Valentin. I've invalidated everyone else that has gone through something similar as Valentin has. And that's fucked up. Like, it's okay to be like, hey, you know what? Both of you have gone through strong shit. I know, Espy, you're going through quite a lot at the moment, but like that still doesn't invalidate Valentin's traumas as well, right? Like, that's a way of comparing traumas and still being empathetic about it while not being a dick. Because there are individuals out there who are like, not just picking on ReZero, it's just the first thing that comes to mind. Oh, Subaru has gone through 1,001 loops, and
well, to be honest, that actually does happen a lot. A lot of people compare their traumas to each other. For some reason, ReZero and Mushoku Tensei seem to be two series that kind of clash heads. I don't get why, because I think the writers have a lot of respect for each other. It reminds me of So I'm a Spider, So What, and Slime. When those both aired, the communities attacked each other, accused each other of plagiarism, copycatting, and then next minute, the two authors are collaborating, being like, oh yeah, we love each other's series. And it's like, why is this community fighting amongst each other when the writers get along? It's the same with Mushoku Tensei and ReZero. It's like, why are we fighting? Like, these are two great pieces of literature. They're isekais. Let's, as a community, come together and enjoy these mediums together rather than being a fucking stupid fan base fighting amongst each other, because there are people outside of the anime community, certain powerful celebrities that are making videos saying anime is satanic. It's like, that's who we should be calling out and criticizing, not each other in the same bloody community. And people know who I'm referring to when I say anime is satanic. So
and what I find interesting though is, like, for example, when it comes to certain communities and like fan bases in this, they'll target Mushoku Tensei for some of the lolly, like, oh, he's like, you know, he's being weird with Eris in season 1, or oh, he's being weird with Sylphie. Yet there's R34, a whole bunch of R34 about Beatrice, fucking Petra, and some of these other characters. I'm just using, again, ReZero as a staple board on this, that are like more than promoted in a lot of these fan bases. And it's like, come on, guys, you can't necessarily just be like, hey, we're going to go ahead and shit on this one aspect without also realizing there's stuff that needs to be cleaned up. Those are cultured arts. My main thing, though, is ReZero is amazing. Mushoku Tensei is amazing. And we need to celebrate both for what they bring and the amazing stories and characters that they bring forward. And that, I guess this is another thing. My community will never be about shitting on other content creators. Ever. Just being straight up about it, right? We can have our discussions about what we like, what we don't like, but you will never, ever find us legitimately being like, oh my God, Awake Productions, right? Now, I love Awake, but like all these other content creators, you'll never see us shaming or being like, they should have done this better or whatnot, because toxicity breeds toxicity. And that is fucking horrible. Whenever I see individuals or servers or whatnot promoting aspects of toxicity, that for me saddens me, because it's allowing this to grow and like toxic mentalities to thrive off of that. That's just my thing. I don't know. Sorry, I had to go on a rant there.
No, I don't blame you on that, especially after the last couple of weeks. I think that definitely got both of us kind of riled up, especially, a lot of people coming after Ed about his wizarding. And I mean, especially because a lot of people accused Ed of reading ahead or watching ahead for Mushoku Tensei, but something that I noticed when reading through the series is that the series is very good at leaving hints. And when you look back, even after you've read a series, for me, up to volume 25 now, and I look back at all the different things, there are so many hints. Like, the author was not hiding the hints. Like, they drop many little nuggets of future story plots, where things are going to go, where things are going to intertwine. And if you sit there long enough and analyze it, and I mean really sit there long enough, you can piece some of it together pretty early on.
Right.
It depends on if you're willing to sit there and analyze, like, each volume one by one at a time really heavily, or if you're just going to binge watch, read through it all, then yeah, you're going to naturally probably not get all the hints there because you're just flowing through the story very quickly. And I think that's the good thing about Mushoku Tensei, is that you can consume it in many different ways, like slow, fast, and you get a different experience each time. Though I do hope that with this season and future seasons that they do pace how they do the extra chapters.
Okay.
And some people will understand what I mean by that, because I'm not going to say what's in these extra chapters in the later on ones, but there are some extra chapters that I actually hope they don't do in the anime, which they seem to be kind of pacing them very differently.
My main thing on this, real quick, just to do this, I get a lot of shit wrong, and I feel like people often like hop over that shit, and like for example, there was a scene in ReZero, right, where I was talking, especially looking at the older days when I had a shitty ass laptop, which I can go to my parents' house and still pick up and stuff, that could only handle 10 minutes, 15 minutes of editing, if that. And like it was spliced up, edited horribly, horrible camera, horrible recording and whatnot. If I'm talking about, like, for example, there's a specific scene where Subaru talks about a small animal, right? What small animals are there? Cats and dogs and bunnies. Take one guess and you're probably going to nail them. All of a sudden, because it's edited weird and because it goes from, like, 10 minutes, you have to make cuts. People are like, he wizarded, he pre-watched. Oh, and it's like, shut the fuck up, dude. I get a lot of shit wrong all the time. And, like, even if it comes to, like, character analysis, like, I think in Mushoku Tensei, I've gotten so much wrong, thinking about the rat, thinking about, like, 1,001 things. I throw theories out there, like, I'm literally trying to go and understand these characters by the way that, like, we communicate and the way that we literally go on in deep and trying to get this. And I'm still going to get shit wrong, and that's okay. Because my main thing is not about getting anything right. It's about analyzing the characters, analyzing the themes, analyzing how this will affect people going forward. But I feel like some people just jump on it and, like, they just want to hate on the whole, like, he made a prediction. Oh, he's getting his water ready. Get ready. He's about to do a spit take. And it's like, no, like, the fuck are you talking about? Not everyone's super fucking methodical, or, like, that would be to an insane level of, like, planning every single little thing out that I don't think is possible for any fucking human being,
I think a lot of it comes down to jealousy. Because I think you've done very well for yourself. You've built a very strong community. You've got good moderators. You've got good admins. You've built a name for yourself. And even with everything that went on with YouTube, apparently. And I saw one person complain about that. They were like, oh, well, Ed said he doesn't do it for the money, so why did he complain about YouTube demonetizing him? Because if YouTube is making money out of our channel, then we want what we're entitled to. Right. What, should we just be nice and go, here, multi-trillion-dollar company, have 100% of the revenue? No, I want what I'm entitled to. Doesn't matter if money is a factor or not, but if I'm entitled to something, I will take what I'm entitled to. I can put it to good use.
Well, and even then, like, back in the day when I first started the channel, it was completely unmonetized. Because I was like, fuck it, like, I don't want to deal with copyright strikes or anything like that. And then I'm like, wait a minute, we're doing long-form analysis, might as well monetize it and, like, get what's helping us, and, like, whatever's left over, fucking donating it to mental health charities, because at the end of the day, that's what it goes for. Like, yes, don't get me wrong, helping out sometimes, absolutely, but we don't make a lot of money on YouTube. Hate to be real about it. Like, you get pennies on a video, and some people really fucking complain about that, but it is what it is. And that's what I'm saying is, I think at the end of the day, when we're looking at situations like this, and when we're looking at which means I've seen your two spit takes, when we look at these elements or these shows in particular, People need to understand our conversations are like a game of cat and mouse where we're trying to go ahead and understand, like Ellen Light, right? We're trying to understand the story further by asking these questions, by you subverting, by you throwing me off the tracks and me trying to get right in closer. And you're like, no, fuck off. Here's a rat. Like, people need to understand that, like, none of this is like for spoiler reasons. It's for understanding the characters. And hopefully you understand the characters better. And maybe you understand an aspect of yourself better in the process. Yeah, SB's dodging the hammer like that is Ed's questions. Yeah, the rat is important though. But man, I'm excited. This is episode 1, and it's like one of the calmest episodes like for us to come into, and we're already going fucking deep with our conversations in general. Hold on.
I actually need to remember. Was there actually an opening song?
There was not. That's why this episode went by a little bit quicker.
Okay, yeah. Because I timed me getting up a bit later because I was like, oh yeah, there'll be an opening song. And then I'll get up a little bit later, and then Ed will be like 2 hours in the opening song.
That's why I was like, there's no opening song. But also it's because I'm feeling a little sick, so like stuffed up and whatnot. So yeah. You know, doing this while being sick is an interesting experience. I'll tell you guys that.
I bet it will be.
But overall, man, I appreciate you being here. I think that's where I'm going to call it for today, just because I am feeling myself start going back down. But guys, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming by. Every Sunday, on the Sunday is Mushoku Tensei Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. You guys are fucking amazing. I can't thank you guys enough. Editors, please get this video up as quick as possible, ladies and gentlemen. You guys mean the world to me. Thank you. Come back Sundays, 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We're going to be doing Konosuba. I might bring SB. Are you down to do Konosuba with me? Like, well, no, you'll be sleep. Or you might be sleeping, right? If we do it early.
What day?
Well, it'd be Sundays. So we could just do Mushoku Tensei in the afternoon and probably bring you on for Fridays or something.
Yeah, we can do that.
Hell yeah, ladies and gentlemen. Nice start for the new season. Thank you. I appreciate y'all coming through. Ladies and gentlemen, we are doing interspecies reviewers on the Discord. Not tonight, but like Friday nights. Shimoneta coming up. We're playing some hentai games. I'm trying to find the co-op hentai game so I can bring SB with me and we can be the hentai kings you guys want us to be. There's a ton of awesome and I don't know how else to put it, like awesome things to come, ladies and gentlemen. I can't open up completely about it, but just know a lot of shit's coming. The Hentai Kings versus the Riz Master. Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I appreciate y'all. Hope you guys practice that self-care. Guys, I'm going to be off for the night. I'm going to be on the Discord. SB, thank you a ton. You want to plug your channel or anything for people to go find you as well?
Yeah, Spiritual Analysis. I dropped my Volume 24 review today, so check that out if you want spoilers.
Ladies and gentlemen, you guys are the absolute fucking best. Practice some self-care. We're going to rate Ophelia.